People on both sides were quick to respond to the president's campaigns requesting a recount in Milwaukee and Dane counties. Sean Gallagher has that as he continues our team coverage.
Both sides of the aisle reacted in pretty much the way that you would expect. The Republicans and Democrats that I spoke to could not agree on the rationale behind requesting a recount in Wisconsin. Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett called the decision to recount ballots in only Milwaukee and Dane counties an attack on minorities.
Don't let anybody fool you that this is about irregularities. This is flat out an attack on democracy in cities and places where people of color live.
But Republican strategist Mark GRAUL disagrees and argues the president's team selecting Milwaukee and Dane County is purely strategic. There were more than 800,000 votes cast in just those two counties.
I think the volume of votes is what's important. If you're going to overturn a 20,000 vote difference, you want to pick the two places where there's the most votes that can shift potentially, because there's the most votes in general. So I think it makes sense from that strategy. And certainly, of course, the volume of Democrat votes in those two counties was very high.
Recounts in prior elections only resulted in a switch of a couple hundred votes, but clearly 2020 is different with the record number of absentee ballots submitted. GRAUL says the process needs to play out.
I don't think that it's likely to change the outcome. I think most people believe that. But I also think in an election with this kind of consequence that was that close with this many voters, there's nothing wrong with going back to make sure everything was right.
Mark GRAUL says one thing you can expect to see change in future elections is the number of absentee voters. He says it won't get near the pandemic levels we saw in this election, but expect more and more people to opt for absentee ballots in the future. In Milwaukee, Sean Gallagher, TMJ4 News.